Tas ir jautājums par to arī, par ko Vilka kungs minēja, tas ir jautājums par transporta plānošanu. Vai mēs ieliekam dzelzceļu kā mugurkaulu un pārējo transportu kā sagādes transportu pasažieriem priekš dzelzceļa, vai mēs darām līdzīgā veidā, kā esam darījuši līdz šim, kad no katra mazā ciema un pašvaldības ir ekspresa autobus uz Rīgu un vilciens stājās pie katra staba. Savukārt, kas attiecās par jautājumu par divām konkurējošām sistēmām, precizējuši, jo tās sistēmas nav savā starpā konkurējošas. Viņas papildina vienu otru. Ja mēs arī pastamies kaut vai dzelzceļa karti, tad mēs redzam, ka vilciens ir austrumu-rietumu virzienā, tātad no Daugavpils faktiski uz Rīgu un uz Bausku vilciena nav, tieši tāpat kā vilciena nav uz Ainažiem un Salasgrību. Līdz ar to mēs nevis konkurējam, bet mēs ieviešam pilnībā jaunu dzelzceļa koridoru, kurš līdz šim nav bijis. Pastamies arī mūsu apdzīvotākās vietas Latvijā. Tās arī atrodas apkārt dzelzceļa, jo dzelzceļš nodrošina mobilitāti, piegādi un sasniedzamību. Un vēl viena lieta, ka šis ir divas fundamentāli atšķirīgas transporta sistēmas. Vienas ir padomju laika transporta sistēmas, tiek izmantota Krievijā, otrā ir Eiropas. Un pa šiem nebrauc vienu un tie paši vilcieni. Pa šiem ir pilnībā citi nosacījumi. Un kas attiecās uz vides pieejamību, tas attiecās uz trokšņiem, tas attiecās uz vides izmešiem un tā tālāk. Ja mēs klasiski dzirdam tuduk, kur vilcieni braukām pārvatā ogles, par Rail Baltiku ogles nebrauks. Par Rail Baltica ir elektrificēta līnija. Visi šķērsojumi, ja mēs skatāmies šobrīd, drīkst šķērsot dzelzceļu vienā līmenī, kas ir bīstami un gādāja neskaitāmas nāves. Savukārt Rail Balticā pēc nosacījumiem ir jābūt tādiem šķērsojumiem, kas ir vai nu pa augšu, vai nu pa apakšu. Un ja mēs ejam vēl tālāk, ne tikai Rīgā, bet visā Latvijā, ir ne tikai šķērsojumi cilvēkiem, bet būs paredzēts arī dzīvniekiem gājienu pārējais, kāds līdz šim nav. Igaunijā, piemēram, vairāk par 26 būs tādā. Ar to, domājot par to, arī par projektu, tiek domāts, lai radītu maksimālās iespējas un iegūmus iedzīvotājiem, pēc iespējas mazāk kaitējot videi un dabai. Un kas attiecās uz metro, man liekas, ka metro bija lieliska ideja, un ja nebūtu paši Latvijas iedzīvotāji, kuriem bija protestā pret metro, tad padomju laikā mēs vismaz būtu sākuši metro būvi. Bet tas bija Latvijas iedzīvotāju protests, kurie šo darbību apturēja.
Saku paldies visiem par piedalīšanos viedokļiem, un tagad aicinu arī visus palikt auditorijā un noklausīties ārzemju viesu Rolfa lekciju, kas arī tieši par pilsētplānošanas tendencēm, par attīstības ceļiem, arī šīm dažādām pieredzēm, no kurām lūko varētu mācīties. So, Rolf, the floor is yours now for the lecture. I think it would be good if we could fit in less than an hour, so have a lecture and allow some space for time for discussions as well, so we don't I mean, an hour, I think, for everything together. Yeah. Good. I would like to first thank you for the invitation again, for Yannis, who made that possible. Good. Okay. Who made that possible to have this talk. I would also thank you for the Swiss Department of Culture, who made it possible with the people from the embassy in Riga. They made it also possible. First, I would like to what I mean with a new architecture I think with a lot of problems we have today, I'm sure it has to do with architecture and how we see on architecture, how we build our environment, and how we deal with the environment. I would like to talk, to make a short introduction. I would like to look back from where I've come. I think it's quite important. Then the situation of the architecture, what I think we are at the moment in a difficult situation all over the world. Then the basic ideas, what it needs to make a holistic, I call them a holistic, an architecture that tries to bring all the facts around together to a new kind of architecture. And our relation to land and the basic features, what it means in a holistic architecture. One thing that's very important is the basic, what it means for the humans, for human life. And then as a small introduction in a project I could do in Ghana, where I could try to all my ideas to bring it together for low budget housing in Ghana. And what it means then is all what I learned then, what it means on the example in Switzerland, and then the demands on policy, on politicians, and conclusion. So, where I come, I'm from Switzerland. Perhaps you felt that. It gives you this picture. It gives you a small thing what I have done till today, or the important parts. You have projects in Russia, in Switzerland, and in Ukraine, and so on. Then the last one I made, that's in Zurich, that's for the Swiss Federal Railway System. It's an old building complex, 110 years old, to refurbish it into a new facility to maintain railway cars and so on. So, where I come from my education, I made an apprentissage in machine engineering, and then I had the possibility to go to do a bachelor degree. First, I began with machine engineering, and then I changed to architecture. And in Switzerland, we have since a few years, if you make a good bachelor, you can go through to the university. And I think that's something very nice, very important. First, you learn with people. You work in a company, and you do your profession, and then you can go step by step further. And with the university, you get then the possibility to do a master in architecture or also other departments. And I think that's it's a possibility to not, if you are not decided early in your life with 15 or 20 or something, you have then the possibility to go through. You can go to make a doctor degree or what else. I think that's a nice thing we have. And from this way, I would like to present people that were, for me, or professors, they were important. You see, the first on the picture is Hersley, and that he was a professor for architecture. Then another one I hadn't, that's his yellow publication. That's a professor, he was for city planning. And Kust, this other guy on the right side, there he was professor also for architecture, but city planning, and he had, for me, it was very important. He had a social responsibility towards architecture, and it's now 40 years 40 years ago, but at the moment, for me, it's something that comes back real what we need today to ask more about these things. Hersley, for example, with his city planning, he was against the idea of an architect. I do my own monument. He said, you have to do an architecture. Another architect can go ahead and develop the thing. And if you go through the cities today, you find all monuments of architects. I say it's sometimes like a dog sheet. Dog, and in the end you have something that doesn't fit together. Then, after my studies, I had the possibility, and for me, it's very important. It's Galfetti. There is in the southern part of Switzerland, in the Italian-speaking part, and I had to do the possibility 4 years to refurbish the old castle. There were the castles. There are 3 important ones. They are now World Heritage buildings. And, for me, it was real important to do. Then the situation, architecture lost track. If I look around in Switzerland or also in other countries, I can go to Germany, I can come here, or whatever. It's lost of principles of urban design, of how to make spaces and places and so on. And then the quality of architecture, if you look at, there is low level. We have it's run by rented of people. They would like to have the maximum of income to make much money as possible. And on the end, you have architects. That I'm architect, yes, but you have architects. They do this work in this direction, and on the end, the loser is the society. Is everybody? You don't feel good, or you don't feel as you have in an old city, for example. Then I would like to talk to land is something special. We can't let them grow. We have a certain amount of land, and you know, till the last few years, human life was to maintain the land, because it was the base of living, of earning agricultural products and so on. And they made a lot to maintain, or to make the surface to produce things, to enlarge the surface. I have some examples here up there. On the left, you see vineyard in Switzerland, and you can go and see it in the Philippines with the rice. And then in Egypt you have the only land you have to produce vegetables and so on is the flat land from the Nile. And you know, even in the time then, they built all the cities and the monuments and the temples and all, they built it out in the desert, above the surface, not to touch the surface. It's a photo today, you see Gizeh, and you see the Nile is now also occupied with buildings. And then another small example, it's a small city in southern Switzerland. You see it the same. The living was concentrated, was to take a minimum of land, and around all what was possible they made it for. Then, if you see what consequences there are, what we are in is we destroyed, I say real destroyed, a lot of land with an ongoing use it for all kind of living, and you see there a photo from the Swiss Air Force 1943. You can see there is agricultural land, and the photos above there are the situation as today. So it's spreading out, and you lose the surface and the free agricultural land. When I go fast to the situation in Switzerland, Switzerland has 41,000 square meters, and from that land is 25% is unproductive. That means lakes, rivers, glaciers, mountains, and debris. 30% green areas, forest, then agriculture areas 35%, and 7.5% improved land. That means including infrastructure and so on. And of this, 36% is zoned. That means it's possible to do construction in it. And the other one, 37%, is in land that is not improved and it's not allowed to do construction. So what that means for the whole situation, till 1979, there was all free to use the land. And after 1979, they decided, or from a law from the government, say that from then on you have land that you can build, and you have land you can't build. Fortunately, we had already in 1876 a law that was way ahead of the time to protect the forests. So today you have in Switzerland, since then, there is the forest, you can't build into the forest. Every surface you need for something, for infrastructure, for example, it has to replant on another place for the same quantity of forest. And it means also you have people, they have their private forest. So the access to the forest is given in all surfaces. You can't fence or say the private forest, it's open for the public. You can go through whatever you like through the forest. You can whatever you like, but no construction in it, no vehicles in it, no cars into the forest. All these things are forbidden, and I think it's a very, very nice thing. And now, when we made this decision to use to make land for use, for construction, and to let it free, then we left the agriculture. We left more air because the prices, they weren't under pressure of as in the normal market. We let the agriculture gave them more air to breathe. But at the time of 67, there, or 79, then we had already buildings in the zone, not where you normally couldn't do construction. And that's at the moment the problem. We have around 600,000 houses in this zone, and people, they change it for it. It's mainly agriculture buildings, and they change it into living and so on. And that's a big problem at the moment. And so we will have next year the green parties and so on. They say now we have to stop, and we have a vote for it if we would like to stop. In general, to enforce not to build this. What that means, if you look at the situation today, you can see that there are photos about how it looks like. The problem is the villages and so on. They made two big zones